I'm getting some pictures. My uncle said he sent you another
Hello,
picture.
welcome to the live from the Inside Out show with Nicole and special co-host Demel X, and he's actually going to be on the phone with us today, and so I'm glad that he's able to be here. So I want you guys to know that this is a special treat, and we're going to be doing this once a week. And so, Demel, can you please introduce yourself to our audience, please?
Okay, my name is, as the sister said, Demel X. I'm currently incarcerated at Chippewa Correctional Facility in Michigan. That's located in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I've been incarcerated for 21 calendar years. In that time, I have grown, I have lost, I have gained. I'm a father, I'm a brother, I'm a nephew, I'm a friend, I'm a human being. I really pride myself on breaking the stereotypes of what people may or may not think about guys that come to prison. Sometimes it's cliche, sometimes it's stereotypical, but don't forget, for every person that's in here, some of us are attached to families and communities. So I'm real big on trying to make that connection to community and family.
Hmm. So, welcome again, Demel, and I thank you for opening us up. And so, for those that do not know me, I am T. Nicole, and I'm the founder of Driven by Purpose. I am a spiritual authenticator where I talk about health, wellness, and spiritual development in order for individuals to grow. And so, I am the host of the Driven Show, and I am just someone that believes in people and allowing people to tell their stories in any capacity in the way that they see fit, because of the simple fact nobody can tell your story better than you can, even
That's
though
right.
people try to. But I'm so glad that they're not. So me and Jamel are two individuals with two different backgrounds, and we both have faced some type of imprisonment. So his is more physical and mental and spiritual. Mine is
Mm-hmm.
more spiritual and mental. It was physical at one point, but now it's mental and spiritual for me. So, Demel, can you tell us like what made you want to tell your story?
Outside of the fact that you can lose yourself in here,
Hmm.
I had several conversations with different groups, different persons, and if you don't tell your story, I think you said it best just now. If you don't tell your story, then a story will and a narrative will be created for you.
Hmm.
Most of us are remembered from the convictions and from some of the things that we've done. There's a saying that the brother Brian Stevenson from Just Mercy, uh, he says this all the time. We're more than the worst thing that we've ever done. So in that, I really believe that. So it moves me to talk about, more than just that incident, more than just the conviction, more than just the sentence. I'm more than the worst thing I've ever done, and I'm more than just a person that's in prison. So it's very, very important to be able to do that.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so I'm so glad that you said that. And I need to apologize because of the simple fact I have a picture up here on the screen and I actually need to take it down. So yeah, please don't judge us. Don't judge me rather. I'm going to take the picture down because it's for something different, and so I want to make sure I take it
Sure.
down. And so Demel, I want to say something to
Yes.
you because of the simple fact we having this conversation because I wanted people to know who you were, number one, but not only did I want them to know who you were, but the imprisonment, like you were in prison. And so how has life been for you in prison? Like what has that been like for you?
Man, I
Hmm.
would do myself an injustice. I would do a whole host of other people that has come in and out of my life of injustice to kind of, to do that in just one conversation. But I'm
Hmm.
in the interest of time and trying to attempt to do it. It has been what one would imagine in the way of uh, homesick
Hmm.
slash longing, yearning to be free, a pain that I cannot describe. I came to prison at 22, 23 years old. I'm 43. I grapple with that.
Hmm.
It's very difficult to wrap your mind around actually having the length of time that you've been on the planet spent in institutions. My experiences in prison for the last 21 years have been I always marked them in eras of time. In the very beginning, it was very violent.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went through a phase of litigation, and I went through a phase of spirituality. And I think that I'm in a phase now where I've kind of like meshed all three, except the physical violence is more so a mental violence now, wherein you've been bombarded with thoughts. I mean, COVID has done some things in prison I had never seen before. You know, I really lost some very good friends. What most of us thought it was, I could say, a hoax, but we really didn't take it serious. And the department didn't take it serious. It hit like a storm. It hit like a pandemic. And many of us thought that it was just a cold that you'd get over. And I've seen otherwise healthy men, man, fall due to this pandemic. So yeah, it's been hell. It's been growing. It's been like childbirth. Mm-hmm. And if a child can remind you and tell you of the pain that it's gone through coming through birth, I would imagine that they will have a story to tell. Mm-hmm. But it's so horrific, and I think that the God is so merciful that you can't remember it. It's beyond your conscious mind. So yes. That's the best way I could put it.
Well, I want to say something. Your brother Alex X is in the building. He said hello. He said, "This is my brother."
Man.
Yes,
that's my brother.
Mm-hmm. That's what he said. So welcome, Alex. And so I want to say something because, like I said, a lot of people don't know, like, why we are here. So the gist of why we came together to be able to tell your story, number one, but you are doing something in the prisons where you are helping individuals with classes.
Right.
And I'm just learning of this yesterday. But the thing is, what type of classes do you lead with some of your team, and why is it so imperative?
Okay. Number one is imperative because if you don't, man, you can literally just go to sleep and wake up for 20 years. Mm-hmm. You're not required to do anything. Mm-hmm. Unless you get close to your earliest release date, ERD is known on the yard. And those of us that don't want to jail like that want to challenge ourselves to grow, we created classes. One, namely, is compassion and accountability, wherein we put ourselves in the shoes of those that are negatively affected by our sentences and by some of our past actions. We learn altruistic methods, meaning selfless. Most of us, and that's one hallmark of the criminal mind, man, is really, really selfish. And I don't know, a lot of guys won't admit that they're selfish, but that's the motivation to a lot of the things that we've done in the past. And with my conviction of faith, me being the Nation of Islam, it has trained me, so to speak, to put programs together to heal a sin-sick prison and eventually a sin-sick world. We also teach parole prep workshop. Now, irony is the sentence that I have is life without the possibility of parole, yet I teach, me and with other guys, we teach how to be successful and not only getting a parole, but maintaining one. And hopefully we give these men with something that would shock their conscience, to change their life, or at least to look at it from a different perspective. We have a class called Ethical Challenges where we, talk about scenarios. What would you do? What's the right thing to do? And lastly, we have a class that deals with financial literacy. Most of us don't have bank accounts. I know I got a lot of ballers, man, a lot of guys that was like, down the street millionaire, but they don't know anything about the banking system. They don't know anything about balancing a checkbook. Now, that don't mean that they're ignorant. They just mean that they don't have, well, I guess that does mean that they're ignorant with the very definition of it, but
they just don't have that knowledge.
Have the experience.
The experience and the knowledge.
They don't have, and from what I'm understanding now, your e-wallet, which is a whole nother thing that we're trying to get some people and some stuff to learn about. But yeah, so we wanted to put things together that was relevant and to not just try to get out, but to save ourselves.
Yes. So thank you for that. And Alex said, yes, he helped me so much. I love that class. It really helped. So with the work that you are doing, we are very proud of it. So you continue on that path, because you taking your negative and turning it into a positive because you said something. Go ahead.
We're turning tragedy into triumph. Go ahead.
I love that. Tragedy into triumph. Yeah. And so can you tell us one more thing? Because you have an organization. What's the name of your organization and what does it do?
Okay, the organization that I work with officially is Steps to Life, headed up by Miss Adina Goodspeed. She's a surrogate mother to me. Her son is my brother in the struggle in here with me. And my movement what works in conjunction with that is free people movement. The free people is simply, it's not just free from incarceration. I mean, it started from that. Obviously, I'm in prison, and that's the idea to be physically free, but it also talks about freedom in other areas, freedom from financial burdens, freedoms from bad relationships, freedoms from negative self-talk, negative self-think, and just overall liberation. And I oversimplified it, but in the interest of time, that's what it's about. That's what I'm with. Those are organizations that I'm rocking with.
Well, wonderful. So, as your co-host, I thank you for that information because people needed to know. They might hear somebody say it, but we want to give a shout out to your uncle. Can you please tell us who your uncle is and what key role he plays?
Listen, a lot of people be wondering, yo, man, who is Dion Rigondeaux? We joke about that a lot, man. It's the brother, the tall brother, man, with the fez and the locks, man. My uncle, man, is like, man, I can't explain because he's a rare breed. I've seen this man make a total transformation, man. He whether he knows it or not, man, I look up to him. Even at 43 years, I'm 43 years old, I still look up to my uncle.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Very briefly, I've seen him in the negative, and I'm seeing him in the positive. And my uncle, man, is all about the work. You got something positive going on, he gonna pull up. Yeah. But he's not going to pull up and do a lot of talking, man. He's going to pull up doing a lot of doing. Because that's like how he was on the other side. He put that same energy to when he was on the other side to this enlightenment. And he's all about uplifting fallen humanity, man. So that's my uncle, Dion Rigondeaux, man. All praise due to Allah for my uncle.
Yes, so y'all make sure y'all check him out because he's in the building. He will be here popping in and out, and I want to make sure we try to get him as a guest. No, we get him as a guest on the show.
That's right.
And so we will be back.
But he don't like to do a lot of talking, y'all, so y'all got to make sure y'all engage him, man.
Yeah, so we got to get him involved. So, Demel, I know our time is almost near an end, but we want to say thank you, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you. Yeah, next Tuesday, same time, God willing. Okay. Al, man, stay up. Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Okay. All right. So I want to say thank you guys
for tuning in. GTL.
I want to say thank you guys for tuning in. And so I had to let Demel get everything out so that way you can know what his position is and where he came from. So I'm T. Nicole, again, like I said in the beginning. So I am a life coach, and I'm big on healing individuals that have been abused sexually, mentally, physically, spiritually. And so the thing is, the reason that we have this show is for Demel to tell his story, but not only tell his story, but show how he has turned his life around. What do you say? Tragedy into triumph. And so the thing is, he's healing people in the places that he can't. I'm healing people on the outside. So that's why I said live from the inside out. So our job and our mission is to come together and heal people in the capacity that we can, using the platforms that we have. And so I just want to say, if you guys are willing to join us every week, we will bring a new topic. So if you have topics that you would like to hear from the two different perspectives, so like he's in prison, I was in prison in my mind and my body and in my spirit because of the simple fact I had been molested when I was a kid, and I never talked about it. Hey, Dion, we just talked about you. Demel had to go, but we just gave you a big old shout out. So thank you for being amazing. We're going to try to get you on the show when you are free and able, because we want to talk to you too, because you are doing a lot of things in the community and a lot of people need your service. So we thank God for you, Allah for you. And we just want to say thank you for just the connection. And so not only that, so Demel help people, like I said, that are incarcerated. I help individuals that are not incarcerated, or they can be. It doesn't matter. So he can help people that's here on the outside, because every time we talk, I feel like everybody can gain some knowledge from him and understanding. Because when I first met him, it was just like I heard him talking on the phone and not knowing him. I just was like, I want to know who this brother is, because he has a lot of good, positive things to say. And we always had that stereotype that people in prison are bad, or they con artists, or whatever the case may be. And so I'm turning this thing around because I believe in his mission. I believe in what he's doing. And to meet his uncle, like, I haven't met him physically, but the brother stands for positivity, change, and freedom. And so I believe that people deserve a second chance. I believe that we need to know what people are experiencing, are their experiences. So like me being molested, a lot of people overlooked me or didn't know I was molested. But when I started telling my story, I lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot of people because they was not ready to walk in their truth. They wasn't ready to tell the story. So here it is. I'm alone, but I'm telling the story to help heal somebody. So we're going to do this in the capacity that we can. And so I'm so proud that he's a teacher. I'm a teacher. He's actually helping me on some things that didn't even know that I needed the help on. So it's good to surround yourself with people that are like minded, that are doing the same things that you are doing. And so, again, come back next week. We're going to do a couple things so you'll see this movement go farther. So if you have any comments, concerns, questions, you want to be a part of this, just let us know and we can go forth. If you have a loved one that's incarcerated and they want to get their story out or they just want to spread their message, I would love to talk to them because we can do some things for them. And like I said, this is from live from the inside out, and we're healing traumas because of the simple fact he has a story. I have a story. You have a story. And so many times we just want our voices to be heard. We want people to know not so much what we did, but what we're doing moving forward, because again we all have a past. So it's time for us to come together. I love their organization, his movement with his uncle, free people, free people. So here it is. I'm freeing people mentally, spiritually, telling them that they can overcome, that they can be healed. And I believe that. They believe free people can free people. And so we come together. I got this thing. I was sitting at home and it was like, heal people, free people, free people. So what if we came together? Heal people, free people. Think about what I just said. Heal people, or free people, heal people. Because of the simple fact, when you are in bondage for so long, when you're going through the things that you go through, and you don't even sometimes realize that you need a healing. You need to be reborn. You need to be renewed in your mind daily. So I believe that us coming together, we're going to make some noise. We're going to bring forth a change. And Demel, I'm not going to say too much about it, but Demel, he said something. He was like, he might not get the chance to come home. Like, if you knew his story, we're going to dig deeper into his story. And so I just want y'all to know more about him because it's some changes coming, and there's some laws that need to be passed, and we need your help. And there's a rally that's going to take place very soon in Michigan. And so we'll talk more about it. So I look forward to you guys just supporting the cause. And just if you have a loved one, you want us to talk to your loved one, hey, we can arrange that too. So y'all have a blessed and an amazing night and take care. And we see you guys next Tuesday. Make sure you share this with your loved one, your family, and your friends. Take care, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.